Hi everybody and welcome back to LL Sports TV. Just a quick video today looking at the game against Tottenham on Wednesday. Massive game, big North London derby. And with me to preview the game, it's my pleasure and honour to introduce Cecil G in the building, man.
Yeah, it's all good. Thank you for having me on. It's my debut on your channel.
It is indeed, man.
Bare time at the channel. What you couldn't now.
No, I've been trying to get you on from time, but you're such a busy man doing your stuff at AFTV. You do lots of other stuff.
No, that's true. That's fair.
Those of you who are social media active would have seen Cecil, man. He's here, there, and he's everywhere.
I've been around. It's a shame that you're coming on in a time where things are...
No, but in a way, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get you on. Call it therapy, man. But let's start by talking about the game at the weekend against Man United, man. Very disappointing game. I was at the game. I know you was in the studio hosting the AFTV watch along. Wow.
Where'd you start?
Where do you start? Very disappointing game, man.
It's been a bad week as an Arsenal fan, and it can prolong to being a bad 2 weeks.
How did we not beat them? I mean, like, they were down to 10 men. We're at home. It's the third round of the FA Cup. We've got like 70+% possession of the ball. We create 20-odd plus chances, and we still couldn't beat a 10-man Man United. What's going on?
Funny. Like I said on the preview review today, I said that I hear you say that, a lot of your fans, or you say that, possession stats always higher for Arsenal, shots, corners, and we don't end up winning the game. And it's becoming a regular theme at the moment. It's kind of starting to spiral out. I think you asked, how do we not win that game? The glaring obvious answer is we're terrible in attack. I've been an attacker professionally in my life. I've seen chances that I think, you could have scored, your brother could have scored, I could have scored multiple, and it's not just one man, because I think the whole team, you can look across the team and say no one's really performing well at the moment at all, and then you kind of then look at the manager and you say, well, this is you've put them out to play a certain way. It's clearly not working. A lot of fans would have seen this coming. I think I predicted a Newcastle game. I keep going back to that because I said 2-1 Newcastle. It ended up being 2-0. I expected to see more from that. It was poor. But if you look at the signs of our home performances before that game, yes, we're winning the game, but we're scraping through wins. We
did look good against Brentford, though. I thought we played well there.
Again, that's on the way. I'm talking about home performances in build up to this. The Brentford game, we did look all right as well. But you could see in the home performances that things weren't kind of clicking, and we're missing big chances. I mean, the Man United game, I predicted 1-1, thinking it's going to be a tight game.
It was 1-1.
But exactly. But I think if you're, I know my club. Like, you kind of see what's happening. You see that we haven't been able to score goals. You see that there's big players out. Bukayo Saka's. It's not an excuse, but you say those sort of injuries. There's a lot. For Ethan Wanyeri was obviously the answer at one stage when Saka come out. He's injured. Jesus obviously recently just got injured as well. You can see there was things. Martinelli's Trossard not being on form. That was saying it's not going to be a high scoring game. And if we look at Man United, I look at their attack before the game and thought, them man aren't scoring, like Rasmus Højlund and all that, them man aren't scoring. And the only threat I thought, maybe Garnacho I don't rate, but Ahmad, I thought, he will be where they get a goal. He didn't even start.
No.
So I'm like, cool. It ends up being 1-1. I thought, bless, but we're going to win this game, because my thing is, you look at Arsenal's quality, there's more quality than what Man United have on that pitch. If you look at it and you're a sensible fan, you can see that we have more quality. However, it went to penalties, which to me is pot luck. But if you want to analyse what happened there, I mean, Raya jumping up, diving early, I don't know what's going on.
He didn't cover himself.
Man was saying that he's on a dodgy stream, and he's going before. It was what I was saying was crazy, and you can only laugh at certain things. I mean,
you know what? I've got to ask you though, because you're a striker as well, right? So you may be able to give some insight into this. So Kai Havertz, I'm at the ground. Kai Havertz walks up to take his penalty. And trust me, immediately, everybody around me was like, nah, he's going to miss. And the reason why they would have thought that, because I kind of thought that myself, if I'm being honest, even though I never shouted it out, because he'd had such a poor game. I'm like, bro, then you're asking a man to take a penalty in a very pressurised situation. He's been missing the goal from 2 yards, bro. Now, here we are, penalty situation. He's going to miss it. Everybody knew. Do you not think that Arsenal should have taken that decision out of his hands? Someone should have said to him, listen, man, maybe you better not take one.
I think it's...
Or would it be seen as a dereliction of his responsibility?
I think there should be someone saying, someone else needs to step up. I even think Odegaard taking the first penalty after the injured ankle, and people clipped me saying, me talking about it's just ankle, him missing that penalty, but just before that he was hobbling around the pitch, clearly wasn't playing his greatest game, so his confidence would have been low. However, I would have been on that pitch as someone of authority, a captain should say, look, maybe we use the sixth goalkeeper, penalty taker or whoever it is to swap for you. However, I know at football clubs, they've got their list of players. They've done this before. They would have prepped who's taking the first penalty. Because even Odegaard, for me, stepping up taking the first penalty, I thought was brave. Don't get me wrong.
It was brave.
He's your captain, but I think because you've missed one, you'd think, I don't know if you're right, the first penalty, like that's a lot of pressure. However, I know for a fact at football clubs, they have, like I said, they've got their list straight away. They know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They know their order. So if you change that, I don't know. I don't think they would have looked to change it unless the player himself, which obviously Havertz didn't do, would say, "I'll be real, I probably shouldn't take this one." But that again, that takes a lot of force for a player to say that. But he's not going to do that.
He's in a difficult situation.
Yeah, but there's no excuse for him. But and I'll say it on here. I think people, when he first signed, of course, people can say, "Oh, welcome video" and all that, but I have never really rated Havertz. I think I've made it clear before on many other channels. I've made it clear, to be honest, on AFTV, but I don't really say too much. I don't berate a player.
Yeah, you try not to.
You got to be professional. Yeah, exactly. But and there's things of like when I was on tour in the first season, I didn't really want to go and speak to him because I felt like I didn't believe in him anyway. But he's, for me, was never a striker. He came in as a midfielder, and we've had to make it work in the attack. And I could see problems and faults and flaws in him anyway. As being an ex-striker myself, I could see that he's not the one. And then it kind of it's coming to fruition now. And it can say it's revisionist because last season I might have been there and I was never championing, but he had a good spell.
He got 13 goals last season, and he scored quite a few of those towards the back end of the season. So a lot of people looked at that and thought, you know what, maybe the manager's onto something here. He may go on and
you'd expect his kick on.
Yeah. But I've got to say, man, I'm not like being wise after the event. I said it at the time. I said it even before the season started. To me, Kai Havertz is not a 20-goal-a-season man. And if Arsenal are looking to win the major runners, we need to upgrade in the striking department. We haven't done that, and the rest is history. Anyway, I don't want to dwell too much on yesterday's game because, to be honest, it was a very good game.
Bad.
It was a chastening experience. I was at the match, and listen, man, it was horrible. It was cold. The game was dull, especially in the first half. We did have about a 10, 12-minute window where it really picked up. They scored, they were sending off, we scored, and we're thinking, yeah, man. But after that, it never got going.
There's no excuses.
Yeah.
If I just give
as soon as it went to penalties, I kind of knew that.
United were dying to get to penalties, and I understand why. That's why there's no excuse. When you look, it's an FA Cup game after you've been basically knocked out. I know we're still in the League Cup, but you've basically been knocked out on that because you've got to go away and try and beat Newcastle. Premier League's not looking great. Champions League you can hold on to, but let's be real. That FA Cup game, it's Man United. Yeah.
And it's the third round.
It's a big game. And I know it's early on, but it's a big game regardless because Man United. It's the third round. They've gone down to 10 men. We have better quality, and also they have 13 FA Cup titles. Yeah, we have 14. Yeah. I know people will say something to look at, not to look at, but for me, we are. I take pride in being. Yeah, this is our cup. You hear a brother say, "My trophy." That you hear. I used to say, "For Arsenal Cup." The FA Cup stands for Arsenal Cup. God, yeah. United are one off that. And listen, not to say they could go on and win it, but knocking them out early should have been motivation enough to say you're not getting near our 14. Yeah, exactly. But do you know what?
We didn't show that hunger.
They're not there.
And I'll tell you something else, because obviously I'm a lot older than you. Mm-hmm. But listen, trust me, when I was growing up as a kid, the FA Cup was
a big deal.
Was a massive deal. We used to wake up early in the morning and watch the build-up. In fact, I would go as far as to say, and you may think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not, the FA Cup was seen almost in the same bracket as winning the title. It was that big. So I'm coming from that lineage. So for me, the FA Cup's always been a big deal. But listen, like I said, I don't want to dwell on it too much.
Apologies,
we're here
Spurs.
to talk about the Tottenham game. And my question to you, Cecil, is can we turn it around? This is back to the Premier League now. We're second in the table. We're trying to hunt down Liverpool. A lot of people say it's unlikely, but listen, we need to challenge them. Got a massive game against Tottenham. It's at home. We've already beaten them earlier in the season. Can we beat them again? It's slightly different now because fortunes have changed a little bit. They're coming off a couple of wins. They did beat Liverpool in the Cup. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they won in the FA Cup, although they didn't look stellar. But they got the win. So they'll be coming to the Emirates thinking they can do something. What do you think?
You've asked me the question, can we beat Spurs? The obvious answer, again, is yes, we can. Do I believe we beat Tottenham Hotspur on Wednesday night? And this one's harder to predict because these factors do come into play. It's a derby. So the team give you an extra 15-10% regardless of what people say.
Should do. Should do.
I laugh. No, I would be. I'm furious right now if I'm being real of how things are just unraveling. If they lose to Spurs, then everything's done, and there's going to be. And I hate. You did the preview. You saw me off camera walking back. Do you see this period? It's not my period. I don't like it's negative. Everyone wants to go mad at people and whatnot. I don't like that. That's never my time.
Yeah,
so
it could get toxic.
It could get. But we're in it. But the storm could get very, very big. Yeah, and do I believe from where we're at right now, can we beat Spurs? It's a tough one. We'll look at the factors. They played Tamworth in the Cup. We're a better team than Tamworth, right? But fair enough, at the end of the day, Spurs won that game, right? That's one thing. But they went 120 minutes. They played a lot of minutes. They're going to be tired. They rotated and they brought on some of their strong players. We're a better team than Tamworth. It's at home, it's a derby. That gives you a bit of bonus, a bit of benefit. I said about Man United, we have better quality than them. Right now on this Arsenal side, with all the injuries we have, yes, we still have better quality than Spurs, but I don't think it's massive right now. They have injuries as well. That's why I'm saying that. Yeah. I say our quality comes in defence.
Some key players.
Yeah, and our quality right now that's over Spurs right now is our defence. They got Mickey van der Ven out. I think they got Cristiano Romero out as well. They got
Ferguson's out as well.
Exactly. So they've got most of their defence out, and that's where our strength is. Gabriel scored the bloody goal against United. From defending wise, we've got better defence, and then obviously that's our threat going forward as well.
Some would argue that going forward they're better than us because they've got Kulusevski in good form.
Yeah, Solanke as well.
Solanke's decent. Got Son's not really firing this season, but on his day we know he can be a handful.
But then I expect our defence to handle those players because I think our defence is where our strength.
I tell you where there might be some. I tell you where there may be some ray of light.
Please.
Their defence and the way they play with that high line. We could exploit that because Ange is always telling people he's not going to change his principles. They're going to go for it. They're going to play an aggressive type of football which predicates them being up the pitch and they leave gaps in behind.
But can we exploit them? You're telling me these things like, obviously I know this, Mikel Arteta.
No, but that's a well-known weakness of Spurs is that they defend with his high line.
Our weakness is our attack, and right now we may expose him playing a high line, but I don't trust our attackers to put the ball in the back of the net. And even if they do, we're looking at Raheem Sterling's going to come in. He played okay when he came on against United. However, this team is so well drilled. I say well, it's not very well drilled, but Arteta is so meticulous with possession, suffocating teams. You get a chance where Ange's high line's up there, we can exploit it, but then we'll get to wherever and try and let their players get back in, pass around and find the perfect pass, and then when it drops to a player in front of goal, can he convert it? I can't. In this mood I'm in right now, where I'm looking at Arsenal, I can't tell you we go on and convert those chances. I could be way off. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. It's a derby, one of the most entertaining derbies of the past. Arsenal versus versus Tottenham. But I think this one's going to be, like our past home performances, a complete drag, an utter bore.
No, I actually think it'd be a good game,
Do you?
Yeah, because I think Spurs will go for it. I mean, Man United didn't really go for it yesterday. They were defended for large spells. It's almost, and certainly certainly when they got the man sent off, you could see that they were playing for penalties. That was obvious to all to see.
But you're saying then, if their Spurs will go for it, they win the game.
No, I'm saying that they will go for it and they will leave gaps at the back. And we do have players on their day, and that's a big thing, on their day, that can exploit that. We've got Martinelli, we've got enough pace with him. We've got Sterling, he's got pace. We've got Odegaard, I know he's been off form, but he can do stuff. He's a very, very good player. One of my favourite players when he's on song. It's just that he's not been on it. So listen, I still back us to win. I actually do think it'd be a good game because I think Spurs will go for it, because I think Spurs will come here and they'll be quite confident. And Ange and the Spurs side, they'll be thinking, yeah, man, we're catching Arsenal at a good time. Morale is low, confidence is low.
But Ange's
Let's play our game.
He's not an idiot. He's an idiot because in the sense that he sticks to the way he plays, but he understands how big of a game this is. One, for his job. Two, for just the fans and everyone. So he may be naive by sticking to his thing, to sticking the way he plays, but I don't think he's going to be as... I think he's going to be aware that everyone's going to be thinking he's just going to come here and think he can go for it because Arsenal are low right now. My biggest concern, which I've spoken about previously on other channels actually, is that when it becomes a basketball match, right, Laurie, between Arsenal, when the game's open, we struggle. So say Newcastle, they might throw things forward and we're like, oh shit. And then Arsenal, I don't think, can throw it back because we like things controlled. Arteta hates the word, in my opinion, an open game. I think he goes at that because he likes control.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
But then the opposite to that is, well, a team coming and doing a low block, but United and we can't break them down. Yeah. But that's the story of Arsenal of late as well. We can't break teams down. So because when they come defensive, how do we break it down? We haven't got the quality to do that. But then when games are open and they want to go back and forth, we can't do that either. So now I'm like, well, what the fuck are we good at?
You're not feeling with much confidence, Cecil.
Listen, I'm telling, and at times I don't really give time to have full conversations and analysis on what I've seen because I play the presenter role. I like to be, impartial and let you guys, people speak. But right now, that's my honest review of what's happening. I don't see how we dominate this game. I don't think it'll be a high scoring game, and if it is, I don't know how it is because we don't like it open. And then when teams come and do a low block, which will be open because that's the way Spurs play, all roads lead to Spurs winning this game for me, which is it's changed. I did a preview. I said it could be 1-0 either way, but now I'm at a stage where it makes sense that unless something dramatically changes, but I don't know what dramatically changes it from Man United to now, and we have more injuries as well. I don't see us winning this game. Crazy, and that's
honest. It's nothing but honest, people.
Okay,
listen, we got to wrap up.
Go on, sorry.
Give me your score prediction.
When the previews, big up AFTV as well, the channel we both feature on, I said 1-0 either way. Thank you for having me on this. I've kind of looked at it.
The confidence is dissipating.
It's moving. I say it's hard to judge a derby because it can go one way. It can be low scoring, but it could be an absolute blockbuster and be crazy. But I still think the way we are, I think we're going to be nervous as well. I think it'll be a low scoring game. I'm going to stick with 1-0 Tottenham. I think that's what it's going to be.
Shout out to Cecil, man. He's had the sheer audacity to come onto a channel like this and predict that Arsenal's going to lose. But listen, you know what? I kind of respect that still because what you've said is kind of reflective of what a few people I've spoken to yesterday feel. They feel that the confidence in the camp is so low that they could see us coming unstuck against Tottenham, and I sincerely hope that's not the case.
I'm going to give my prediction, and I'll tell you why.
I'm going for an Arsenal 2-1 win. I know that sounds easy to say 2-1, but the reason why I say that is I do think that Spurs will come and they will try and play their game.
Who scores first?
We do. And I think Spurs will equalise. I think we will nick it late, and I think the reason for that is that I think you'll see a bit of a backlash.
Yeah,
I think you'll see the Arsenal players give off themselves. I think there might be a few changes, and I think Arsenal will go for it as well. But I think that Spurs' frailties will be exposed on the night. I think then, with this high line, always attacking, will give us the space we need. And I think that the likes of Havertz, he can't have as bad a game as he did. I think Robbie gave him 0.
He gave him 0 for the first time, I
can't see that happening again, and I do think that we'll win by the odd goal. So I'm going Arsenal 2-1.
It's a lot of scores.
I'm not as confident about it as I have been in previous games against Tottenham because we always seem to beat Tottenham.
That's true. Of late we have.
This time I can understand why people like yourself are a bit more reticent to predict victory. But I just think overall, us being at home, the fact that we need it, the fact that we're going through the league, the fact that Spurs have their defensive frailties, they do have injuries, just think on balance we'll eke out a 2-1 win.
I think it'll be set piece. And I know people laugh at set pieces FC. Yeah. I know people laugh at that and try and poke with that stick, but that's the only really way I see. I see more defenders scoring again. I think it'll be a set piece. If we seem like we're going to win, I don't see us completely battering Tottenham. We score from open play. And
it might not be a battering, but
I think it would come from set pieces. But right now, after doing that whole deep dive, that's what I've landed on.
So there you have it, people. Thanks, Cecil, so much for coming on.
Doom and gloom for my first appearance. But
you know what? I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your. I always encourage people to be honest on this show. So you've come, you've said your thing, and hey, it is what it is. But I do think we'll eke out the win, a narrow win in a hard-fought game. I think it'll be a good game, actually. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. So there you go. But listen, thank you guys for watching LL Sports TV. Thanks for Cecil for providing his expert input, and thank you to everybody for watching and supporting the channel. If you're new here, please like, share and subscribe. We are out. Catch you on the next one.
Big up LL Sports TV.